Carnivore day 109, and my MS symptoms are back, unfortunately. So before you judge and type the great amazing tips you want to give me, you maybe need the big picture here to understand that. So I have a lot of videos where I explained since when I have it and what happened actually. So let's just dive into it, what is happening now. Usually when my episode seizures are starting is, I don't know the English word for it. In German it's called Schübe. Then the problem is that they start with small steps. So the first time, 2019, when I had it, I just broke down in the middle of the street. My legs didn't work for a couple of minutes. Then it started, and it was fine again for 2 days. Then my hands started making some troubles. It was like electroshocks. I started having feelings. My sensitivity was through the roof. Hot was cold. I got burned a lot. I had a lot of electroshocks in my spinal cord, how do you say that? These kind of things started. Then suddenly I couldn't move that much, so I wasn't able to walk long distances. It was always less and less and less. My legs started to feel like somebody's putting something heavy on them, and they would just stopped working. Then a lot of sensitivity problems started. It was just through the roof. It was like a snake is crawling through all my nerve system. So my whole nerve system was just giving me wrong impulses, what is happening in my body. My brain stopped working. I couldn't remember names suddenly. I couldn't remember even my name or words and these kind of things. I had problems then with breathing and many, many more. So the whole book of possible symptoms started kicking in. That's when they also realized what I'm having in the end, just doing the MRI and all the blood tests and liquor, and it showed that I have MS. So I had the luck that on the medication that I got, when you have these kind of seizures, you may be lucky and it helps and you get better and all the symptoms go away. In my case, it was basically most of the symptoms have been gone, but I was left with still troubles with my hands, which you can't see, and still troubles in my legs, which you also can't see because I was not able to go uphill. I was not able to run and these kind of things. So because as soon as I put too much pressure on kind of where the lesions are, the symptoms are just showing up. So that was what I left with. Then almost 2 years, I had two of major seizures at 2019. So they just said, they predict me a very, very bad future and I'm not gonna make it without medication. And I said, no, I know there must be some other thing. I'm feeling now great after the medication they gave me. I felt like Wonder Woman. And that's when I did the right things. I did cut out sugar. I didn't do carnivore at the time or keto. I was just cutting out sugar and highly processed food. I tried to make healthy foods as much as possible. And I felt amazing. So that one did work. I felt 2 years, I felt amazing. I did a lot of sport. I did a lot of fighting sport, Krav Maga and Muay Thai. So my body was great. It was doing great. So I thought, I don't need the medication in the first place. But after a while, I changed the job, other things happening. And I did have a lot of bread at the time because I was living somewhere else where everybody had bread and sweet stuff. And there was also alcohol a lot and these kind of things. And I started getting worse. So I did see the immediate response with these kind of things. So I went back and I had another seizure. It was going bad and worse and worse. Also, my hands got worse. So I work in IT. My hands are my money. So that's bad. At this time, for me personally, it was very important to have the medication, and I started having the medication and I put my hope in it, but my illness increased. So did have, after an MRI, I had more lesions, I had another seizure. So they said, it's basically tic-tac what I took. And why did the guru of MS, like the doctor in Europe, who is like, whoa, why did he just give me that? Why didn't he just increase and give me the higher medicine, like which works better? So she put me on some other medication, and this medication backfired. It was Also on Carnivore, I did take them already on Carnivore, and I did have major headaches. I was constantly sick. I felt like I'm having the flu every day, and I said that's not life. And that's the time when I cried and broke down, and I said, that's gonna be my life forever? Oh, fuck no. Then Carnivore showed up in my feed. That's when I started Carnivore in the first place, and I put not my hope in that, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. It sounds crazy, but everything else didn't work. And to give you a better understanding, I tried so many things you can't even imagine. I have a list of 2,000 things and supplements and this and that and people who might help me all around the world, because my dad is a diplomat, and he's a sick diplomat, and he has access to a lot of crazy people and also a lot of influenced people. So believe me, I tried a lot of things, from shaman to hypnotherapy to the most amazing doctors in their field. So I am very experimenting with a lot of things and trying a lot of things, and I never say like no if it doesn't seem like it's gonna be harm me. I'm just trying things out and see what helps and what doesn't help. So keep that in mind, because my list still includes 2,000 people who I have to call and try out, and some karma energetic people, some doctors that I have access to. There are so many people. It's impossible a lifetime to manage to go to all of this. So the problem was, or my biggest problem is that I come from I think that food helps. I think that managing your diet in the right direction help with everything. It was the 2 years where I didn't have sugar, where I was driving and amazing and these kind of things. But I do know that life is not black and white, and in life things are happening that will occupy your mind or stress you out, and it will happen some things, or your psychology and depressions and these kind of things maybe are 2 years amazing and you're doing amazing, and then suddenly something happened in your life and you're just going downhill. So for me, it's like that. I grew up with not very good role models according to food, with a lot of other things. That's things that I'm doing very well because I saw how my dad is doing his job. So that's why I'm very focused on things like job and these kind of things. I'm good at it, but I'm not capable of managing food, because my whole childhood, food was the solution for everything. When I cried, my grandmother baked me chocolate cake and said, how much do you want? Eat more, eat more, eat more. If I said, I want some fries, she made me everyday fries. My dad always had, and still has, chocolate cookies in his car. And every time we had some, the energy is dropping, the stress is starting, and something in life happens, he tend to eat cookies. I tend to eat cookies. My whole life based on food is comfort. Food is great. Food is gonna help me. And it does, but it makes me it makes me sick, it makes me feel awful and these kind of things. So this is why food for me is not just, you have the best reason, you're a single parent, you have a big reason to do the fasting, do the right things, just eat ruminant animal salt water. What is fucking your problem? Heard that before. That is my fucking problem. I am a human, I'm not a fucking robot, and I have a really, really disturbing relationship with food in terms of mental things. And I have the best reasons, for a person to be focused on, do the water fast, see if it's going to be better, do the right things, don't do dairy, because dairy are also causing a lot of troubles, don't do this, don't do that. But restriction is the same thing for me, like punishing me. When my, in my childhood, people were punishing me, they punished me with restriction and taking away something from me. So as an adult, I am very scared of that. Even I myself punish myself with, don't eat. You're not allowed to eat even if you want to. So my whole adulthood is about me doing whatever the fuck I want, and if I want to eat a damn fucking cookie, then I'm gonna eat a damn fucking cookie. So to get rid of this, I had therapists, I had hypnotherapists. So I did have a lot of problem solving things. I did have friends, hobbies, and these kind of everything, you know, everything you can imagine, I did and tried. And I'm getting so much better. I'm so much better at this than before. If you had to know me when maybe 11, 12 years ago, you would not recognize me. I was one of the worst party girls you can imagine. I was the one dancing, drinking like hell, having drugs, and all of these kind of things. And why I changed was when my son was born. I had a reason, which is visible there. You want to be a role model for this little creature, you know? So that was my wake-up call to change this kind of horrible things I did. So I changed to a completely different person, you know. So that's the one thing. And also with the sport part, I didn't force myself to do anything. I do every day now for almost 2 years, every day my physical therapy in the morning, because I never forced myself to do that. I just said one little exercise, that's what you can do. And if you can do more, great. I'm gonna be proud of you. And that's what make me really just do it, because I see the benefit immediately. Because if I don't do them, I have a lot of back pain. So I know that, and that's my click moment. That was my click moment with sport, with like partying hard with drugs and everything and bad stuff. My son was my wake-up call. With food, my wake-up call is still not there yet. I need something that triggers, and the MS is not enough. My son is not enough for that. My mom and my own behavior is not enough for that. So I don't know what my trigger moment will be in the end, because this is not something you can plan, but I'm hoping that it will come in the end, that it's just a wake-up call. So me now, my symptoms started a few days ago. Since I do every day a video, it's very visible to everybody what is happening, and I'm like, whee, wow, I'm feeling amazing, and ooh, something is happening. Ooh, I'm feeling amazing. Ooh, I think something is happening. I thought in the beginning it was just the iron thing and these kind of things, but I know the symptoms which are showing after and after, and it's like a checklist. When this happens, then this is the next thing that's probably gonna happen. So yesterday I was at the Thai massage, because when I go to the Thai massage, I feel when she's putting, you know, her hands, if I feel her hands actually, and my skin at some point started not having the sensibility anymore. So this is for me one of the biggest warning signals there is for my MS, because as soon as this happens, everything goes down the hill. So I have two options now left. I can get my shit together, and the whole weekend what I'm trying now to do, and it's so hard for me, believe me, it's one of the toughest thing, and I know that people who can do that are just, you know, rolling their eyes, but for me it's like running a marathon without ever running my life. It's too fast. And to do is this weekend, my mom will take care of my son, so I can just lay down and sleep if I have to. I will try to do the water fast. This is for me like the I don't know, the Oscar, you know. If you can do it, you are amazing. But I will see if it is 2 days, nothing changes and my symptoms still remaining, I need to go on Monday to the hospital. I need to, because if I don't react and I got my cortisone, that's gonna be a big problem for me, because I end up in a wheelchair again. So that's not what we're gonna do, and it can stick. So if something happens and I don't get there on time, even 1 day later can be a problem, and it can cause me being left with the symptoms then in my nerve system, and broken nerve system, you know, just hurt nerve system. So this is the problem I'm having, and I need to make this decision. So I give myself this weekend to do so and try to see, and maybe this will click in my head, because if I do everything the right way, if I do everything what Dr. Chaffee, you know, wrote me what to do, and just go, you know, ruminant animals and just water and salt and that's it, and, you know, fast as long as you can, B12, vitamin D, all these kind of things. If I were a person that is capable of that, I'd probably be healthy, but I'm just not. I'm so full of mindset, emotional eating problems, which I cannot resolve that fast. I will maybe in a year or two if I just improve with everything I'm doing, which I do, but I cannot resolve it that fast to not end up now in a fucking wheelchair again. So that's what I'm scared the most. So that's my personal thing, what I'm struggling with, and my journey, what I'm always saying about, you really need to understand that MS is called the illness with 1,000 faces, because for everybody's different. It's so different. Some people are just having, maybe sitting in a wheelchair, and the next day they are driving and doing amazing, because that's how it works, unfortunately. Sometimes it's just something in your mind. Sometimes it's just, you know, some kind of medication. Sometimes it's something completely different, or just a little bit of a, you know, hope you have. But for me on Carnivore, also struggling with a lot of histamine problems and these kind of things, it was getting tough. Also for my mental health, it was getting tough. And when the symptoms then also started, and me having disbalance in my hormones, and I tried these high butter, high fat, 80% fat, I tried so many things. Although, believe me, I watched hundreds and hundreds of videos on Carnivore with different kind of approaches, very different kind of approaches. So I watched them. I tried it, but it didn't help to manage all of these kind of things for me. It helped with a lot of other things which I didn't expect it. So for me, the Carnivore lifestyle is million times better than everything else before, million times. But with my MS, it's not healing fast enough for me to say I'm not gonna go on medication then in the end, because that's the decision I have to make. My appointment is in August, and if the next 2 days will not show even progress, but I'm getting worse, this is a definitely sign that this is not the solution for the MS right now at this point. But it doesn't mean that it will be in the long term. That's not the case, because in the long term, it's, can I manage to heal my mental state to get over my shit and just eat the proper carnivore, you know, just how it's supposed to be, without also the dairy part. Am I capable to do that? Am I strong enough to do that in the end? Do I have a perspective to do so? So that will be the answer to that, maybe in 5 years, 5 months, 6 months, maybe years. I don't know. But until then I will need to have the medication. And the problem with the medication is that it can cause other stuff like tumors and breast cancer and these kind of things, which are very common. So that's what the struggle is about in the end. So I will try my best. I will really try my best to get my things together this weekend. I ate today until I decided that at 11-12. I just ate the meat and beef fat trims. I did have, because my energy was so low, I was really starting to be depressed, and that's the problem. I can go to sleep, of course I can, but if I go to sleep on a Friday like that and wanting to spend time with my son and just enjoy life, but I'm starting to be having fatigues, which fainting all the time, I just can't. I cannot just go to sleep because I feel depressed as hell then. So that was my solution, to just have the coffee, which I can show you, by the way. I ordered it. It's like Nord Code, because of the mold, and they do have a lot of things like the European version also from LMNT. So I ordered that as well. We will see how this goes. It was just a recommendation, so I'm trying these things out and see if this will help me through. But I'm not gonna take that now this weekend to really do just a water fast, and to see that, and to do also the coffee and enemas at some point, maybe not at the same time, of course, as the fasting, because it will be too much stress on your body. But I will try to put all the poisons out that I can and see if my body gets better, because it will be immediate better. I know that some things immediate have response, and I know that in my body, as soon as something really works, it will show up the next day or the next day, so 2 days. So that's what we're gonna try, and yeah, that's basically what I had to say. And still having faith, and I need just to change my mindset, and I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better. I'm doing meditation. I'm doing the red light therapy in the evening. I now tried the cold water, because cold therapy is also important for the MS. So I tried that one as well. And now I'm going just out to have some air, because it's raining also all the time. So that's also not really beneficial right now in my country. So, and try to go out with my mom and my son and just have these moments of good spirits, let's say, like that. So I am committed. And I hope, just even me posting this video, that it can just keep myself accountable to not eat and it's really a tough thing for me not to do because of my emotional state right now. Feeling depressed, food will be comfort for me in my head, and to get rid of this even for 2 days, it's one of the toughest things. So you can watch me right off not fail, I hope. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest about it in the end, and then we will see how this goes. So please be gentle, don't be condescending, don't say that how can you not do that because yeah, that's just me. And that's also the reason why I post every day, because that's what most people don't do. They show also only the best days and when you're doing amazing, and every time you're depressed or having a bad day or these kind of things, you just don't see at these people. So that's for me why it's important just to be really honest, and it backfires often. Believe me, I got comments and mails and messages which I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you people? So, or don't you have any hobbies? So that's also, putting yourself out there and saying these things is not easy. But so that's why I hope you guys are gonna be a little bit nice about it. Like Tony always says, the wolf pack. The wolf pack needs to be today. Just you want to do the challenge with me? You want to do the weekend just trying to much water fast as possible? Whoever is in, let me know. We can maybe do it together. Since I post every day, we can just then write our experiences if we can manage that. So see it like this. If you're gonna do also the fasting part, even a little bit more fasting than usual, or maybe an hour, maybe a day, maybe whatever it is for you in the end, you will support me. You will support me hopefully to get better. So maybe that will be a good motivation for you guys. I don't know. I know that it's for me to know that I'm not alone with this shit. So thank you for everything, and wish me luck. And I try now to move as much as possible. And see you tomorrow, as always.